Hi, I'm here with redshirt sophomore Marist defensive back Sam Thompson. Coming off a loss in overtime to a winless Jacksonville team, what was your guys' game plan to beat them before the game, and in what ways did you fall short of that?
Yeah, our game plan, like any other week, was just to play fast, physical, and make sure we have 11 heads flying, as what we like to say, swarm to the ball every play. They ran an offensive scheme where you run the ball 80% of the time, and you're only passing the ball 5 to 6 plays a game. So we really had to make sure we were pressing the box and make sure everyone was doing their responsibility, which is something we kind of sold short at in the end, and the outcome showed.
With former NFL player Denard Robinson being QB coach for Jacksonville, what advantage did that give them with their style of play?
Denard Robinson, first off, was hats off. Was a great college player, and even strived a little bit in the NFL. I believe on the Redskins, but in his college career, he was a Heisman candidate, and it reflected his coaching abilities with their quarterback. And as I said before, they had 80% running the ball scheme, so their quarterback was always running the ball, and it reflected with his play scheme when he was in college compared to how good this kid was. And he was another Florida kid, just like Denard Robinson, and it definitely showed the potential and ability he's going to have in the future.
With 5 seconds left in the game, what gave your coach confidence to send kicker Luke Beldino to tie the game with a 43-yard field goal?
Luke Peldino is a great kicker. He's reflected off of Jason Myers, who's now an NFL kicker for Marist, who just recently actually beat the 8-0 San Francisco 49ers in an overtime win and hit a 47-yard field goal, I believe, which is very close to the same distance as Luke Peldino. So I think our coach really had faith in him because his 100% completion on the year with making field goals. So it just showed the success we had on special teams, and we had the wind coming in our direction to help us out. So it hit off the crossbar and went in, and it was just a great moment and probably one of the greatest moments I've had playing football.
In a heartbreaking overtime fumble at the 1 yard line for sophomore running back Hunter Cobb, how did he react to this, and was the team supportive of him afterwards?
Hunter Cobb is a great friend of mine. He's a redshirt freshman as well, and he lived right next to me actually last year in Mid-Rise. And it was obviously a devastating play, but you have to give him so much credit for everything he did for us that game, taking a kick return to the house, which was like 80 to 90 yards, going in the opposite direction. And even these past few weeks has just been so successful running the ball and stepped up after our two starting running backs got hurt, which he really wasn't expecting to play this year. But even though it was a devastating play, we just told him, you have to be ready, and next week's coming. It's our final game, so hopefully we get this win and get this momentum shift into next season.
Being 3-7 and going into your last game now, what are your plans for next week to stop a similar Valpo offense?
It's going to be very similar to the last week, which is kind of guilty even though we lost last week's game. But it was just, we had a great scheme, but as I said, tackling and getting 11 hats to the ball and everyone just playing their responsibility. And this week in practice, we went up against our starting offense instead of the scout team players, which was definitely a big improvement to make sure that everyone is getting true and good reps. So I think our main goal is just going to be tackle and play well and hope to get a better result and to, as I said before, get the momentum shift in the next season.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.